Hello students, how are you all? Okay, hope you had completely understand our first 5 chapter from the book of social studies. So today we are here to start up our next chapter, that is 6th chapter related with our heritage. In this chapter we are going to understand the concept of heritage. We are going to understand our culture, our tradition at the fuller extent. So, but before starting the chapter, we need to look at the example which is given here. So, example is actually related with the Veena, and Veena is of 7-year-old girl. She sang a classical song at her school annual function, and everybody who is present in the audience, she sang so beautifully that everyone who is present in the audience started praising her. And if I talk, Shivangi and Veena both are best friends, and Shivangi is also present in the annual function along with her grandmother. Shivangi's grandmother moved to the Veena's grandmother and praised Veena's singing, and Shivangi's grandmother said she is really an commendable, she has a wonderful talent, and reminded that you must be proud of her because your father his father is also a great magician. Her grandmother is saying that Veena has extended their heritage. Now Shivangi and Veena both are confused. They are unaware what do you mean, what they mean by the heritage. So the Veena asked her grandmother what is heritage. So her grandmother replied that heritage is something which has been handed down to you from your forefather. What is the meaning of forefather? Forefather is representing bade bujurg. Okay, have you heard the word? No, forefather are the previous generation is representing forefather. So what is heritage? Heritage is something which has been handed down to you from your forefather. Your forefather when gave something to you, that is considered as an heritage. But Veena feels that the meaning of heritage is much more than anything else. Okay, so what do you think about the heritage? Discuss it with your parents. So let's start the chapter. First one is related with what is heritage. We are going to understand the concept of heritage completely. The history and traditions of our country or society has had for many years forms its heritage. Historical movements, historical monuments, practices, beliefs, art, all such kind of things which is being done by our previous generation or being done in ancient India is considered as an heritage, and we are just taking that from the other, like from where we came to know about the Ramayana that is going on in the television, from where we came to know about the story of Krishna. So all such kind of things we came to know from the heritage. Mainly the heritage is divided into two parts. The first is related with the cultural heritage, and the second one is related with the natural heritage. Okay, the first is representing definitely the cultural heritage, representing to the culture, our culture. As we all know that India is rich in culture, so there is culture heritage. And the second one is natural heritage. Definitely it is somehow related with the natural features. If I talk about the cultural heritage, it consists of historical buildings. Like when we go to the places like Jaipur or Rajasthan, we are able to say number of forts there. Those all are representing the cultural heritage. Different monuments, coins, the coins which is used in the ancient India are considered as our cultural heritage. The paintings which are there on the caves representing to the gufa. Okay, so the painting which are there on the caves folk tales, folk dances, all such kind of things are included in the cultural heritage. And if I talk about the natural heritage, as I told you earlier, it is somehow related with the nature or natural features. So what is included in the natural heritage? That is mountains, rivers and the forest. So in this we are going to discuss all such kind of heritage in detail. So starting up with the cultural heritage, firstly we are going to discuss down about the monuments. So what are monuments and how they work? There are many type of historical monuments. So how they work? They just give us lot of information about the culture that is present in the olden India or in ancient time. Okay, if I talk about, there are some sacred representing to the purest form. Okay, like temple, mosque, all such kind of thing is considered as a sacred place. Okay, so the temples, mosques, gurdwaras, church, the Buddhist prayer hall, and all such kind of things are considered as an monument. So they gives us information regarding the sacred places. Okay, so moving further, if I talk about rather than the sacred places or the religious, as these all places are related with our religious values, if I'm not talking about the religious, so they are also showing us the Indus Valley, Nalanda University, and the ruins means to destroy something, ruins of Hampi village. So all such kind of things is also included in the monuments. Okay, so moving further, the next we are going to understand about the painting. You all are aware that something which you are done with your watercolors, and that is creative and interesting as well. But if I talk about the ancient India painting or painting, how it is considered as an heritage, so the different styles of paintings are going on in our ancient times. So the early humans or the humans which are living from the starting one, they painted walls on the caves or walls of caves. Walls of caves means गुफाओं की जो दीवारें हैं, that is representing to the walls of caves, and that is known as cave painting, because they are painting the cave na, so that is the reason the name of that painting is known as cave painting. Moving further, the paintings on the walls of Ajanta and Ellora, the things you must remember, the Ajanta and Ellora cave scenes shows the Buddha's life. As you all aware about the Gautam Buddhas or the Buddhas, as you can able to see, such kind of paintings are there at the caves of the Ajanta. So what the picture is depicting? The picture is showing the life scenes of the Buddhas. Okay, so many painting walls of temples are also decorated with the paintings. Mughal empire, Mughal ruler, Mughals whole infrastructure is being shown through the painting. Even the battles or the Mughal courts are also being shown with the help of different kind of creative painting. And if I talk beside this folk painting, the Pride folk painting, the Madhubani painting is an example of a folk painting. Okay, which is the example of folk painting? Madhubani painting is an example of that folk painting. Okay, so moving further, I had already know about the monuments. I came to know about the paintings. Further, I came to discuss down about the different dance forms. So there are different dance forms, mainly in our country. The two types of dance forms are very much famous. The first is representing the classical dance form, and the second one is representing the folk dance form. Classical dance form, you all are aware, and folk dance form is something which is being adopted by each and every person. Okay, so what is there in the classical dance form? Mainly the classical dance form started up for the worshipping in the temple. So people started these types of dance just to pay tribute to the god, like Bharatanatyam, Kathak, Kathakali, Manipuri, Odissi. All such kinds of dance forms are just an example of the classical dance form, and our India is considered as rich in their different types of heritage and the different types of dance form adopted by them. And if I talk about the folk dance is mainly done on the occasion when the birth of child will be there, when any wedding will be there, festival will be there, harvest will be there. On that, just to express their happiness, people prefer the folk dance. So which types of dance were included there? And different community means different type of people. The people who, like, if the people living in Punjab or they are Punjabi, so what is the folk dance for them? Definitely Gidda or Bhangra is our folk dance. And different kind of people have there. If I talk about Gujaratis, they have a dandiya. So different types of folk dance, it varies from person to person from where they are belonging. Chaho, dandiya and singi cham, all such kind of folk dance are there which is going on in our country just to express the happiness. Okay, so moving further, the next concept which we are going to discuss down is music. Without music, does dance is possible? If there is no music, can you able to dance? No. Without music, dance is completely impossible. If we want to execute the tradition or the customs of the dancing, or we want to continue that culture, that dancing heritage, then we have to inculcate the music as well. So mainly there are two types of music. Similarly, the first is representing to the classical one and another is representing to the folk one. The folk music definitely originated from the traditional popular culture. Whenever there is an occasion, season, festival, any wedding, we use these kind of music, that is folk music. So if I talk about the Chaitra, the first month of Hindus calendar is celebrated with Chitai song. So there are names. Hori is sung on Holi just to welcome the spring season. Bhavagite of Karnataka and Ball of West Bengal, Pandavani of Chhattisgarh. These are the just examples of the folk songs which is being sung by the people on an occasion that is representing to the happiness. Okay, so moving further, as I discussed earlier, there are two types of dance form. We had only discussed down about the folk. The second is representing to the classical one. The classical music is further divided into two parts, that is Hindustani and another one is Carnatic. Hindustani music is mainly, as we had discussed down the chapter of maps, so you can able to understand the northern part and the southern part of India. And if I talk, Hindustani music is mainly used in the northern part of India where we are living. And if I talk about the Carnatic music, that is mainly developed in the southern part of India. And if I talk about the musical instrument which is being used for them, is definitely veena, sitar, tabla, flute. All such kind of instruments are being used to describe or just to sing the music. So moving further, the next one is language. Without language, music does not connected to the different kind of people. We don't have words. How we can able to express our thoughts? It is not possible, na? So language is also very necessary. So if I talk about India, there are different kinds of people are living in India. Diversity means things in the peoples. Okay, so as we all know that in India different kind of peoples are living. Some are Hindus, some are Punjabi, some belongs to the Gujarati, some Bengali. So different kind of people speaking their different languages. And if I talk about the Indian Constitution, so there are major 22 languages and 33 official languages. Dialects mean that dialect, what is the meaning of dialect? It is already written here. The form of language which is spoken in one area with grammar, words and pronunciation that may be different from one another of the same. The people are speaking a similar language, but little bit accent, little bit changes will be there. So moving further, the next is representing the literature. So literature is one of the important thing which is must be there in a country. So literature gives us information on the religion, wildlife, people, medicine, herbs, astronomy. As we came to know that there is a Ramayana, there is a Mahabharata, we use these kind of medicine, people are using stone age, we had discussed about Indus Valley. So from where we came to know all this such kind of thing? Definitely from literature. If there was no literature, we are unable to know our ancient India. If we know each and everything about our ancient India, it is just because the help of literature. Okay, so literature further are of two type. The first one is oral and the second one is written. Oral, definitely that is just in the spoken form, that is representing to the oral. One generation taught another generation with the oral communication, with just speaking to one another from their mouth, is regarding as an oral tradition. And if I talk about written one, so the two types, the religious and non-religious. If I talk about religious contain the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Vedas. So all such kind of things are all three are considered as an our oral tradition. And if I talk about the non-religious included just the like our stories, our tales, our poem. From where we came to know? We all came to know about this from the literature. And the last, which is very important for our heritage, that is dress. A dressing represents to a person, like people who are living in the Punjab are prefer to wear salwar kameez, kurta, dhoti. And if I talk about the Rajasthani girl, so you can able to see na, it is kind of different kind of dress which is not being worn by the people who are living in the Punjab. So in each and every part of the country, the people wearing different kind of dresses, and they are just representing their culture and their heritage through this kind of different forms of dresses. Hope you are clear with the chapter. We just want to know about the heritage in our this chapter. So firstly, we came to know about the meaning of heritage. Heritage are of two types, the cultural and the natural. Further, we started with the cultural heritage. We came to know about the different monuments, different paintings, creation, miniature paintings, and we came to know about the different forms of dance. Classical dance form was there, folk dance form was there. Further, we came to know about the music. For as we discussed earlier, dance isn't complete without music. So music is someone which complete down the dance. And further, we came to know that from where how many languages are there in our constitution and the importance of language. And further, we came to know about from where we came to know about our history, that is literature. So literature here are two type, that is oral and written. Oral representing to the spoken one, and written are of two definitely that is being written. And further, written representing with the two types. The first is representing to the religious include the Vedas, Ramayanas and Mahabharata. And the second one is non-religious include folk tales, stories and poems. At last, we came to know that the people who are living in India are being wore different kinds of dresses according to their location and according to their tradition. Hope you all are clear with the chapter. So what you have to do now, you have to complete down the exercise which is given at the end of the chapter, and try to solve this exercise by yourself without the help of any other person.